Hey there, greetings from Frog Monster. My name is Murph and I am a host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, and heavy metal, amongst other types of music. So this is our Monday night look back at a classic rock album. And tonight we're going to be doing this album. Yep, The Edge of Twilight by the Tea Party. So we finally going to get to do it. I found it. I had put it... For some strange reason, I put it in my knapsack for work. I don't know why. I guess I thought I was going to do some work on it while I was there, but I needed to do it that night. Anyways, we have it now. And so let us start the way we always start with these type of things. Basically, it was released March the 21st, 1995 with A&M Studios in Los Angeles. It's about 67 minutes long, which is much longer than most of the classic music that I tend to like. Probably has about, I think it's got 12 songs, and they're all fairly lengthy, but this is not uncommon for music once they figured out how to expand the CD a bit. It wasn't uncommon, or actually it wasn't the CD, it was once the groups realized that they had more room on the CD than they had on a vinyl, and many groups then began to add more music to their albums than they were previously. Plus, people weren't releasing albums, a lot of groups weren't releasing albums every year, so they would just put extra on these albums. So anyways, this was also on the EMI label for Canada and Chrysalis' Records. Okay, so it was produced by Jeff Martin and Ed Stasian, I think I got that right. Anyways, then the band, the Tea Party, is Jeff Burrows, drums, cymbals, and percussion, Stuart Chatwood, bass, piano, and keyboards, and Jeff Martin on guitar and lead vocals. Okay, so there are 12 tracks in total on this album. So the general feel of the album, and I don't think I'm going to state anything that's not obvious here, is there's a very Eastern and Indian flavor to it. There's a lot of sitar and Indian sounds to it, which I like quite a bit, and they put it together very tastefully on this album. It's a kind of an acoustic album in a lot of ways, but it does have some heavier tracks as well. The vocals, of course, sound very much like Jim Morrison, in my estimation, would sound if he was making more modern stuff. Even sounds quite a bit like him anyways. There's a bit of a Led Zeppelin-y kind of flavor to the album and to this group in general. There's a few tracks that kind of give me that Led Zeppelin. Of course, Zeppelin did Kashmir, and so that's going to have an impact on this album as well. So anyways, it starts out with Fire in the Head. Sorry, my E kind of was messed up there. I wasn't sure what I was reading. So it's a pretty cool riff. I like the riff on this song quite a bit. Acoustic guitar opens the song. You'll find that this group, I've seen with this group, by going through each song and really thinking about it, they do like to have this kind of opening part for most of their songs. Pretty much all their songs is kind of a different opening, and then it jumps into the music. That's what I find with them. So they have a little bit of an opening and then jump. Some of the openings are a little bit longer, but most of them are fairly short. The first song starts out with that Indian sound to it right away. So, and this is a track I like quite a bit. So enjoyed it right away. So it caught me in my attention right away. The next song is The Bazaar, which is probably one of my two favorite songs on the album. Much heavier guitar on this song than on most of the tracks. The lyrics are good. I love the story he's telling. And of course a lot more Indian sounds on here. I think this is probably the best riff on the album. Overall, I think the riff, or the sound, or if you want the chorus of the song. Sounds really, really good. I really like it. The next song is the Correspondence. Piano opening on this one. Very Morrison-y sounding on this particular track, I think. And there's this bit of subtle piano going on throughout most of the song, which I really like. Now, I used to think I wasn't a piano fan. I used to think that piano was old school, but to be honest with you, if you go back and you look at through my history, there's a lot of songs I like that have subtle piano on it, not dominated, but subtle piano on it. It's an instrument I've quite come to like over time and recognize that I like it, which is something I didn't before. Okay, and then the next song up is The Badger. It's an eerie, almost Irish bagpipe feel to this song. It's not. There's no Irish bagpipes on here, but it has that feel to it. It's probably done with the keyboards and the synthesizers. It's got this harmonic guitar sound, acoustic guitar sound bit that comes on partway through the song as well. I like the song quite a bit as well. Silence is, I think, the instrumental. I think this is an instrumental. I don't recall, but I think there's no vocals on this. Some pretty harsh drum and guitar opening as well. Then we get to Sister Awaken, which is probably the track, along with the Bazaar, that I like the best on the album. More acoustic guitar, a lot more. It starts out with this kind of acoustic guitar and great vocals, but it kind of slowly changes into the sitar, and it gives you that Eastern feeling, and then it speeds up, and it's much more Eastern sounding than a lot of the songs on the album. I just love it. I think it's just a fantastic tune. Then the next is turn the lamps down low. It's got this kind of distorted guitar opening, and then more of that kind of subdued start throughout the song. Shadows in the Mountainside, another song I like a lot, quite a bit on this album. I love the vocals on this song. I think he's really, really on the money here with this, and he has that sound. It's just so good. Drawing Down the Moon, much more bluesy sounding song than any other track on the album. I think this song shows a little bit of a bluesy influence here, or trend if you prefer. Really, really well and tastefully done, I think. Now the next song, I think it's called Inanna, opens with a keyboard heavy synthesizer bit at the beginning, and then some more very Eastern sitar sounding guitar. I just think they really know how to use that Indian sound for their music, and they wanted a huge flavor of that, which they got, but it's just that they know how to use it. It's not just about playing a sitar. It's about how it fits into the music, and that most of their songs, in fact all the songs on this album, it fits in very well. Then we have Coming Home, another track I like quite a bit. This is the most Zeppelin-y sounding song. It has that kind of an opening guitar that sounds like something Zeppelin would play, right? And then the last track is probably the only track on this album. I love the first 4 minutes of it. It's got a synth opening, great tune. But then they have this silent part, and then it comes back. I don't really like it. I think it's the only part in the whole album I don't think fits in. So it's the only track on the album that doesn't get a really high rating with me for that reason. The song itself is not bad though. So when I first was talking this over with a friend of mine, I had originally said this is almost a perfect album, and I'm not going to revise it. It has one track at the end that I'm not really crazy about, but for the most part, I think it's an absolute perfect album. It was probably my favorite album for a bit there. It's still on my playlist. Been there about 5 months now. Really good, solid. I'm hoping the other Tea Party albums that I get will be just as good, but I've been told this one is the most Eastern sounding, so maybe it's going to be totally different, and we'll see how that's going to fly with me. So anyways, there you have it. The Tea Party's Edge of Twilight, in case I didn't say that, I don't think I did, album from 1995. Very good album. For me, a much later release than most music that I've been listening to. Excuse me. But still a fantastic album. Well worth what I paid for it. I know I only paid about $1 or $2. And I only bought it just on a whim. I said, oh, that's that Tea Party group that I listened to a long time ago and never followed up on it. At a couple of dollars, the album was in good shape. So I took it, and it's probably one of the best steals I've got so far in my music collection. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video on the look back at a classic rock album. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's much appreciated. And we'll be back next Monday with yet another album look back at a classic rock album. So you have a good evening, and we will see you then. Bye.